The story of David Goggins is often described as the ultimate transformation of the human spirit. It is not just a rags-to-riches story in the financial sense, but a profound evolution from a state of mental and physical poverty to becoming one of the most disciplined individuals on the planet. David Goggins was born on February 17, 1975, in New York. His early life was characterized by what he describes as hell on earth. Growing up in Buffalo, he and his family lived under the shadow of a violent and controlling father who owned a roller skating rink. From the age of 6, David was forced to work the night shift at the rink, often staying until midnight to sanitize skates and scrape gum off the floors. This period was marked by significant trauma and poverty. When his mother eventually fled the abusive environment with David, they relocated to Brazil, Indiana, where they survived on welfare and lived in government-subsidized housing. The toxic stress of his upbringing led to severe social anxiety, a stutter, and a learning disability. In high school, David functioned at a third-grade reading level and frequently cheated to hide his inability to keep up. After an initial unsuccessful stint in the Air Force, where he struggled with a fear of water and was diagnosed with sickle cell anemia, Goggins reached his personal rock bottom. By his mid-20s, he had drifted into a sedentary life of junk food and uninspired work. At 24 years old, Goggins weighed 297 pounds. He was working as a late-night exterminator, spraying for cockroaches and removing rats from fast food restaurants for a meager paycheck. He describes himself during this time as depressed, insecure, and a nobody. The turning point came one evening while he was watching a documentary on Navy SEAL training. Seeing the elite candidates suffering through Hell Week sparked something in him. He realized he was living at only a fraction of his potential. Despite being nearly 300 pounds and having a history of quitting, he decided he wanted to become a Navy SEAL. Goggins' journey to the recruiter's office was met with skepticism. He was told he had to lose 106 pounds in less than 3 months to even qualify for the program. His routine during this period was legendary and extreme. The diet, consuming as little as 800 calories a day, mostly protein shakes and small portions of chicken and vegetables. The training, waking up at 4:30 a.m. to bike for 2 hours, followed by hours of swimming, running, and high-intensity weight training. The result? He successfully lost over 100 pounds in 90 days, making the weight requirement by the skin of his teeth. Goggins' path to the SEAL Trident was not easy. It took him 3 attempts to graduate. He suffered stress fractures, pneumonia, and even a fractured kneecap, yet he refused to quit. He eventually graduated with Bud, class 235 in 2001, and served for years, including deployments to Iraq and Afghanistan. His military career eventually expanded into unparalleled territory. He became the only member of the U.S. Armed Forces to complete Navy SEAL training, including 3 Hell Weeks, U.S. Army Ranger School, graduating as enlisted honor man, Air Force Tactical Air Controller training. Goggins' riches today are the result of his second career as an endurance athlete and author. In 2005, after losing friends in a helicopter crash in Afghanistan, he began running ultra-marathons to raise money for the Special Operations Warrior Foundation. Despite having never run a marathon, he completed a 100-mile race in 19 hours and 6 minutes, peeing blood and suffering from broken metatarsals in his feet. Since then, He has completed over 60 ultra-endurance events, set a Guinness World Record for pull-ups, 4,030 in 17 hours. Published the memoir, Can't Hurt Me, which became a global bestseller. Central to Goggins' philosophy is the 40% rule, the belief that when your mind tells you that you are exhausted and finished, you are actually only at 40% of your true capability. He uses an accountability mirror, a practice of taping goals and hard truths to his mirror, to stay focused on the person in the mirror. David Goggins' transition from a $1,000 a month exterminator to a multimillionaire is a masterclass in modern personal branding. While his wealth is estimated to be between $5 million and $12 million as of late 2025, his path to financial success is unique because he deliberately avoids the traditional influencer route. He famously does not take many sponsorship deals or fill his social media with sponsored by posts. Instead, his money is built on 3 core pillars. The primary driver of Goggins' wealth is his self-published books. By choosing to self-publish under his own label rather than signing with a major New York publishing house, he retains a much larger percentage of the royalties, roughly 70% of the cover price versus the standard 10 to 15% an author usually gets. Can't Hurt Me, 2018. This book has sold over 5 million copies worldwide, with digital, print, and audiobook sales. Industry analysts estimate this single book has generated over $10 to $15 million in total revenue. Never Finished, 2022. His follow-up book also became an instant bestseller, surpassing 1 million copies sold within its first year. The audiobook Edge. Goggins revolutionized the audiobook format by turning it into a podcast-style experience, including debriefs and unscripted commentary between chapters. This makes the audiobook a premium product that fans often buy in addition to the physical book. Goggins is one of the most sought-after keynote speakers in the world for corporate events, sports teams, and leadership summits. Because he rarely does these events, his scarcity drives up his price. Fee structure, as of 2024 to 2025, his speaking fees are estimated between $100,000 and $250,000 per appearance. Target audience. He is frequently hired by Fortune 500 companies and professional sports organizations, NFL, NBA, to speak on mental toughness and organizational resilience. Despite his massive fame, Goggins maintained a working man income for years. Military pension. As a retired Navy SEAL with over 20 years of service, he receives a lifetime monthly pension and VA benefits. He has stated in interviews that he lived entirely off this pension early in his public career to ensure he never felt forced to take a brand deal just for the money. Wildland firefighting. Even after becoming a millionaire, Goggins spent several seasons working as a seasonal wildland firefighter in British Columbia and the U.S. West. While the pay for this is modest, around $20 to $30 an hour, it reflects his philosophy of remaining uncomfortable and not letting money soften his mindset.